Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I am a shameless fan of getting free stuff. I am also a huge fan of being able to give shoutouts to people within our community who are developing cool and innovative stuff for us. So this is both. I was contacted by Ezekiel from Singapore, who asked me if there anything on his Etsy page that I would like to review, and there definitely were, because he makes some really cool stuff. What he sent me were Magwell adapters for Half Dart magazines, and the ones that he has are really, really cool. The first one I'm going to show off is this one, which is a universal Magwell adapter. It will work in any pusher breech blaster. So anything that has a sealed pusher breech, this will probably work in just about any of them. And what makes it especially cool is that it works with both Katana magazines, or Talon magazines, rather, or Katana magazines. So either of them will work, which is impressive because the catches are in different locations on these particular ones. But Gavin Fuzzy showed us the way, I believe, in how to create a Magwell that has both catches. And this one is designed to release whichever one is currently being used. So it's kind of got a seesaw in there that if the lower one is not locking, then it forces the top one to be locked, or vice versa. So it will nicely lock either one. That one doesn't lock quite as well, but it's still not going to fall out, which is really, really cool. I then do very much like the release that he has on it being a thumb release, so you can easily grab and pull to release. That is really, really nice. It's maybe a hair longer than I would have designed it, but it makes it much less likely that you're going to miss it while pulling your magazine out. So definitely like that. I've got a couple of blasters here I'm going to test it in that have very different kinds of breeches. We have my Slingfire, which has a worker Half Dart kit in it, so it either needs the Half Dart magazines that they sell, or it's going to need some kind of an adapter. So we're going to go with the adapter and make sure that it works. And it goes in, yep, and locks. So there's that, and if we put the Katana in so that it locks, will it chamber? It will. This thing still has its AR in it, so I'm not too worried about dry firing. At least I think it does. It really shouldn't, given that it's got a Half Dart kit. Anyway, yes, it works in there. And it's really, really nice because the release mechanism on these is finicky. So using the full-size magazines that take Half Darts, it's a little bit more difficult to change magazines, whereas this makes it much easier. So I like that. I then, of course, have Uller, my Caliburn, and fits in there beautifully, and will chamber with no problem. Trying with katanas, again, doesn't have a problem. So those are really, really cool, and I have a number of blasters that they would work in, so having those available is really neat, that it takes both. That is the part that I love, is that it will take either magazine. So if you're in the field and you desperately need Half Darts, and you say, somebody toss me a Half Dart mag, and they toss you, either one, it'll work. Won't work with the Dart Zone Pro magazines because they're different than either of these. I don't know how difficult or even possible it would be to make one of these that took those. But that's interesting. The other two that he sent me are, in some ways, even cooler. They are magazines that go into flywheel blasters, and in the case of this one, I believe no modifications. There might be some. I think I might have already taken the locks out of this one. But all you have to do is take some of the locks out, and it will now make it function with Half Darts, because at the top of the magazine, it has its own... Oh, this one has batteries, and definitely has its locks out. It has the extended pusher built into it that interfaces with the original pusher so that you get a long enough push to get it all the way forward. And the magazine wells are as far forward as it is remotely possible to make them. So you don't have any problem with not getting the dart pushed all the way in. Now, let's take it out and I'll show you that. So at the top of the magazine well is the extended pusher is built into it and locks onto your stock pusher. And then the magwell is so far forward that it doesn't even fully encapsulate the magazine. It's actually using part of the original magwell to hold the new ones. These ones only work with talons, however. For whatever reason, he couldn't make it use both, and that's probably because of the different shape would mean that you wouldn't be able to get it all that way forward. So these ones only work with the one, and he doesn't have, as far as I know, he doesn't have a talon or a katana option, but I prefer talon magazines at this point anyway, so that doesn't particularly bother me. But that is really, really cool. And the Ravens one has the same long release, which is really, really neat and really, really nice, especially on the Raven because of, it used to be you had to get in there, which was extremely awkward, and now that is decidedly less awkward. Installing it, like I said, you do have to take out the locks, especially the magazine lock and probably the trigger lock, or at the very least the magazine lock, because this doesn't necessarily disable the magazine lock properly. I'm not sure if you have to on the Raven, but this one already had it out, and I didn't bother to try to put it back in. When you put it in, you do have to then make sure that you push the pusher far enough forward to actually lock into that. And now it interfaces properly, which is really cool. Same thing for the Strife. He has one for the Strife as well. Same concept. It has the extended pusher that gets pushed, and you do have to take the locks out. You have to take the magazine lock out, and there is a little bit of dremeling in the shell that you have to do. It's just below where the pusher is. There's two little tabs that come out on either side that will catch. So you just have to either Dremel them or just snip them off, and problem solved. Yeah. This one has the rev trigger finger release, which is kind of neat, but I would have liked to have seen a tab that comes down here as well. I would have liked to have both, because I prefer to have the thumb to be able to release to pull it down. And I don't know if there was some reason that he couldn't, or if he just really liked that design. I don't think it would have been difficult to have that in addition to having a tab that just comes down this way. And I could probably bolt or screw a tab in there and be able to make my own fairly easily. That is the only suggestion that I would make. I wouldn't even call it a complaint, because I do like that you can do it with that hand, but to me it's a little less awkward to do it with the same hand. To just be able to, but that is really cool. It then does, it's kind of neat that it prevents you from accidentally pushing the mag release that drops the magazine. And again, in order to put it in, you have to slide it most of the way up and then pull the trigger to get the stock pusher to properly lock into place, and then it will have your extended pusher built in. Super, super cool. Again, this one only takes talons because of how far forward he had to get them to properly work, so there isn't any way to use katanas because they're not the right shape for that. So, but really, really easy way to turn your full blasters into half dart blasters with just the addition of that and a slight additional modification that most of us have probably already done. You've probably already taken all the locks out, and so it's just a matter of clipping that one tab to get it to work, and then it converts right back. That's really what I think is the coolest part, is the fact that you can convert it back just like that. Now it's full darts again. That simple, and that's just neat. That's modular. That's something I love. So these designs by Ezekiel are magnificent. Magnificent. All right. So yeah, the link to his Etsy page will be down in the description. You should definitely check it out if you're looking to do something like this. He also has a Chronomag kit if you want to convert your Chronos to magazine. He also has an upgraded Chronos plunger and some body kits, parts for the Longshot. There are some of these that he has specifically designed for certain kits. So I know there's a Longshot kit, and there's, I think, a Retaliator and probably a Prophecy one that also, I think, have extended magazine releases and other additional bits. And then, of course, he's got the Universal one, which will work in just about anything. If you were to have an extended pusher in one of these, this might work with these as well. I'm not sure. I don't have one with an extended pusher. But I know, like, if you had Devil Z Nerfworks dual pusher that will push either half darts or full darts, it might work with these, but I don't know that for sure. I'm pretty sure Ezekiel has extended pushers as well. So, yeah, check his stuff out. It is super, super cool, and I love the designs and the modularity and all of that. So check out his Etsy shop, link in the description. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, things you would like me to review, go ahead and let me know, and I will see if I can get my hands on it to take a look at it. Thank you for watching. Mine.